Foundationalism and Anti-foundationalism, Russell and the Turtles. Foundationalism is a view in epistemology which demands that knowledge rests upon a firm foundation. For example, René Descartes, who worked away anything that could ever be doubted or questioned, and was left with the concept of cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Once I have that firm foundation, I can then safely build my knowledge back up, and that knowledge will be trustworthy because it's based upon a firm foundation. Anti-foundationalism is a view in epistemology which rejects foundationalist principles. Anti-foundationalists do not believe in building from a firm base. And a good example of that would be Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche rejected that there was such a thing as an absolute truth. He believed that everything was essentially relative. And so we would begin building, and perhaps the entirety of our argument might be based upon nothing more than a presupposition. Interestingly, we tend to think of mathematics as being very strong and firm, right? Only in mathematics do we find truth. But yet, a lot of upper mathematics, higher mathematics, is built upon a faulty or shaky foundation. Because if you were to trace it back to its origins, it might tell you that 2 plus 2 is 5. Bertrand Russell was a very famous English philosopher who lived from 1872 to 1970. And at one point he was giving a lecture on the universe, and he was asked at one time, to explain the way things were. And he talked about how the planets revolved in their orbits around the sun, and how gravity worked to keep everything in place, and so on. And at the end of the lecture, a little old lady got up and she says, "Now that's very clever, young man, but I happen to know that the earth is held up on the back of a turtle." And without missing a beat, Russell said, "Okay, then what's the turtle standing on?" Right? There has to be a foundation. But the little old lady says, that's an interesting response, but the fact is it's turtles all the way down. The point of Russell's story, very simple, is that in his view there has to be some kind of foundation upon which everything is built, upon which everything is going to grow. Without that foundation, there's nothing for the first turtle to stand upon, no matter how high your stack of turtles grows.